Welcome to Favorite Rugby on Favorite Sports for today's Rugby Championship Round 5 review. A bit of a moving, what was hopefully supposed to be a bit of a moving day with regards to Rugby Championship because we're still sitting here after the fifth round, or almost 6-7 weeks into the tournament, and there's still lots to play for. And I think that it's been very rare that we've seen a Rugby Championship which has come down to the wire and has been as competitive as this. And I mean, the first Bledisloe Cup match offered us everything and more, followed by a very interesting South Africa versus Argentina game, which perfectly sets up this weekend for what is do or die for all teams, because mathematically, teams are still got a lot to play for. Australia can still win the Rugby Championship, South Africa can win the Rugby Championship, New Zealand can win the Rugby Championship. The only people that can't win the Rugby Championship is basically Argentina, because they would have to beat South Africa with a bonus point and a substantial 20-30 points difference, and the right things would have to happen between Australia and New Zealand. I think Australia and New Zealand would have to Australia would have to beat New Zealand by only 4 or 5 points, and then Argentina would have to hammer South Africa. So Argentina are basically out of the Rugby Championship. But the other three, for example, very much still in it. But before you look at the logs and stuff like that, please do smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. So Australia versus New Zealand. The talk of the town was the referee decision by Mathieu Reynal, and which saw Australia go down 37 points to 39 after Bernard Foley was penalised in the 78th and 79th minute from taking too long to take a penalty, and we all know what happened after that, and New Zealand walking away with a 39 points to 37 victory. And I think what was so interesting about that game is the fact that New Zealand looked at one stage like they were going to run away with it, but Australia, despite yellow cards, despite discipline issues, managed to really get themselves back in the game. And I mean, what an absolute cracker of a game it is. And I think that whilst New Zealand are at Eden Park, Fortress Eden Park this weekend, Australia, I think, will take so much confidence out of last week, and they know exactly what they have to do. They have to go out and beat New Zealand this weekend to even stand a chance of winning the Rugby Championship. So whilst they have it all to do, we're hoping from a South African perspective that they'll be able to do enough to prevent New Zealand from getting a winning bonus point. For South Africa, they very much survived a late scare in the game after going up quite comfortably at half-time, looking very good. Argentina actually got within a point of South Africa, a couple of points in South Africa, and thanks to a sort of two late tries, the late 70 minutes, South Africa coming away 36-20 bonus point victors. And as a result, this is how the table currently stands. New Zealand and South Africa tied at the top, being separated by points difference. New Zealand sitting with a 41 points difference, South Africa with a 28 points difference. So, what are the permutations for this weekend? Well, if New Zealand win with a bonus point, it's very likely that they will win the Rugby Championship, because that means they would have scored 3 more tries than Australia. The chances are they'll improve on their bonus points difference, which already sits at 13 higher than South Africa. So, for example, even if they would have won 4 points and a bonus point, which is unlikely because bonus point usually means there'll be more, South Africa would have to beat Argentina with the bonus point by about sort of 17-18 points. So basically, from a South Africa perspective, we kind of need Australia to its favour. If Australia were to win, even with the bonus point, Australia can only go to 15 points. So that would mean that South Africa, just need to win, basically. They just need to win, and the Rugby Championship is there. If Australia wins, South Africa only have to beat Argentina. If New Zealand win but don't get a bonus point, that means they'll go up to 18 points, which means that if South Africa were to win with a bonus point, they would win the Rugby Championship. So these are all the various permutations that are out there. It's, as I said, Argentina basically out the running. Lots of various different things would have to happen for them to be able to win the Rugby Championship. So it's very much between the top 3 sides, and basically, even if Australia were to beat New Zealand, they would then have to rely on South Africa slipping up against Argentina. But that's the nice thing, I suppose, is the fact that the Rugby Championship will not end at the blow of the whistle in the first game. It will come down to the last game, regardless of what happens in the first game. Because even if New Zealand were to win with a bonus point, South Africa could still mathematically win. Unless, if New Zealand go and beat Australia by 60 points, it becomes mission impossible. But mathematically, it is still possible for South Africa. And I think it's just been a fantastic advertisement for the Rugby Championship, the fact that it has been so close, that we are sitting after 5 rounds, and there are just 5 points between first and 14. New Zealand with 3 wins, 2 losses, and South Africa as well. Australia with 2 wins and 3 losses, and Argentina with 2 losses and 3 2 wins and 3 losses. So every single team's won at least 2 matches and lost 2 matches. And if you look at sort of the points being scored, New Zealand's right up front with 155 points scored. South Africa 126, Australia 128, Argentina 222. So all very similar points against. However, South Africa have had the best defense with 98, as you'd expect. New Zealand the second best, and then Australia and Argentina, who had been a far more leaky. New Zealand have scored 19 tries. South Africa have scored 15 as well as Australia, and Argentina down to 12. Tries against South Africa 11, New Zealand 9, Australia 20 and 21. So yeah, it's been an incredible rugby championship, and I think that it's reaffirmed that this is a really important competition, because I think that we are seeing a lot of these teams going through transitional periods. In fact, I think all 4 sides are very much going through transitional periods. I don't think any of them are very close to sort of right at the end. Whilst the Springboks might be a very settled squad on paper, I think after COVID and after the British and Irish Lions, I think they are a side that are still building, are still trying to sort of get to know each other and get back to where they were in 2019. So that's how the log currently looks. Let me know if you think South Africa can win, if South Africa will win. I want to know what you think down in the comments below. Please do smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven. I'll chat to you soon.